Today I'm going to show you how to set up another one of the indicators that I use quite a bit. This is called my stacked moving average indicator. It's a combination of 3 EMAs and 2 simple moving averages. I pulled up the IBM chart here just at random. It's not going to be this. It'll give you a good example of some of the confusion that you see in a security like this as you look at the price action as I put the stacked EMA indicators on it. I'm using the TD Ameritrade charting system. It's one of my favorites, and I use this particular indicator for 2 purposes. Actually 3 purposes. One is to determine trend. One is to determine buy levels, which I'll go into that a little bit after we set the indicator up to give you an idea how I use them. Although I'm not going to get real technical in this video. This is just about setting up the indicator, and I also use it to set up, different types of levels that I want to buy and sell using this indicator. I typically do not use this indicator by itself, except for the fact that when I set up some of my scans, which I'll show you in some other videos, I will use this indicator to determine where price is in a scan so that I can look at it using other indicators and other methods. So let's go ahead and start setting it up. I'm going to right click on the chart, and again, you can set this up on virtually any charting platform that allows you to set up multiple moving averages. It will be different depending on what chart system you're using. Like I said, I'm using Ameritrade, so TD Ameritrade account, their Thinkorswim platform. So we're going to go ahead and go down to Studies. I'm going to do Edit Studies. And I'm going to start with an exponential moving average. I'm going to need 3 of those. So I'm going to click on this 3 times to add 3. And then I'm going to need 2 simple moving averages. So I'm going to click on that twice. And that just gives me their default settings. Now we're going to go ahead and modify these settings. The first exponential I want to change to a 10 EMA length. You can set the colors however you want. I typically have certain ways that I like to see them, so I'm going to set them up the way I normally put them on my charts. So I'm going to change this one to the blue. I'm going to make it a little thicker because I like them to be a little bit thicker, but that's again up to you how thick you want to make the line. Leave it as a straight line. Click OK. I'm going to go to the second one. Actually, I'm going to modify this first. I'm going to change this one to red. I like to have my shortest one red. So I'm going to change that to red. I'm going to go to the second one, and I'm going to make it a 20 EMA. And it will be blue. I'll make it a little thicker also. I'm going to go to the third one, and it's going to be a 30 EMA. You can use other EMA settings if there's some you want that you're more comfortable with. Obviously, the shorter EMA, the faster it's going to move. The longer one's a little slower. Because I'm setting this up primarily for swing trading, I'm using a little bit longer lengths on these. I'm going to make this one yellow. Okay. Now, my simple moving averages, I want two set up. One's going to be a 50 simple moving average. I'm going to make it thicker. I'm going to make it white. And the other one is going to be my 200. 50 and 200 simple moving averages are very popular, so I like to keep up with them because I know other traders are, and that's, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons that technical analysis works, is because people make it work. So I'm going to change this to a dashed line just so it'll look different even though it's white, and I'm going to click Apply and OK. So now that it's plotted on the chart, you can get an idea of what's going on. And we're going to go back to December. And right here, you see that although it's below the 200, which is still a downtrend on the 200, you have noticed that right in this area, where you're also getting a top right here, that the 10 and here the 20 have all crossed over the 30, and the 30's come over the 50. So, this is an uptrend, as I look at this. If I'm just using this indicator, I would not want to go long here because it's away from this 10 moving average. What I typically look for on these is a pullback either into the 10 or the 20. The 30 I might use as a stop, or I might use the 50 or even the 200. Once we get over the 200, then here I'm really looking for long positions. Yeah, I would not have gone long here because I don't like this candle. Would not have gone long here for the same reason. Don't like this candle. I would have been tempted to go long here because we've gotten over the 200, and there's a good possibility it's going to pop back over it again if you look at this trend going back and you see the 50 moving up in a trend. But again, I don't use just this indicator, so I would be looking at some other things. I'm trying to explain it to you just with this indicator so you get an idea of what I'm looking for. So, I might have gone long on this candle. This candle, even though it's above the 10, would have been a place I would have considered going long. My stop would have been either this 30 or the 50, just depending on price action. Right here we had an earnings event. It's always dangerous to hold through an earnings event, so you probably would have closed a position out here. You've got a really flat 200 here. It's going down a little, but it's not a steep angle, so you've got a lot of consolidation. And here with this crossover here, it shows a lot of negative momentum because you see all of your moving averages turned down again. So you would have been tempted probably to go short somewhere in this area, possibly on this candle, but that's a big candle with a big wick, and you're fighting over this 200. So there's a little bit of danger there you have to be careful of. And really, what I would do is what I see on the charts determine what types of trades that I make. And if you look at other videos and you see different trades I've taken, whether it's a strangle or an iron condor or a diagonal or a covered call, and where I will sell the short calls on a covered call or diagonal, a lot of it's based on what I'm seeing on this price action, how much risk I want to take. Right here, bouncing off this, and you get this candle, even though there's a big wick here, there's a big temptation I would have to go, long if it wasn't for the fact that we're a little bit away from this 10 moving average right here. This candle would have been a hard one to go long on unless I'd sold maybe a call down here, which again, that's how I adjust my strategy based on what price action I'm seeing. And that's hugely important. I don't trade just one strategy, and I don't trade just this indicator. In fact, in the comments below, you can see some of my other indicators and how I set them up. And I would look at all of them as I start to put a trade together. But this indicator is important to me in my trading because a lot of my scans that I use to find stocks to trade come off of this indicator. For instance, I might do a scan that has a close below the 10 EMA. So this stock would have showed up on my scan right here where the close was below the 10 EMA. I don't typically look for moving average crossovers because they're so slow. But what I look is if I've got a stacked EMA, so I've got the 10 greater than the 20, the 20 greater than the 30, and the 30 greater than the 50, and then I get a close below the 10 or perhaps a close below the 20, then it would show up on the scan and I would know to take a look at it because I know I'm in an uptrend and I know I've got a pullback, and that's what I want. The last thing I want to do is go long in this area. So, like I said, this particular indicator is important to my trading simply because I use it when I scan for potential entries. And I can also use it for, to try to find stops and other target profits, which I use some other indicators for that too that I'll also get into in other videos. But if you like these videos, please like them. Please subscribe to the channel. Please check out the comments below and you'll see how to set up my other indicators. This is just one of them, and like I said, it's the one I use primarily for my scans. But if you like it, let me know. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to see me talk about some other things, some other indicators perhaps you use that I don't use, I'll be glad to explain them to you and let you know how I would use them in my trading. Really, technical analysis is a lot about finding indicators that you're comfortable with and then develop a consistent trading plan using those indicators. And that consistent trading plan is very important, and having trading rules is very important. So like I said, if you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.